Good morning, everyone. How are you today? Welcome to the Level 1 Podcast. Today is Friday, the 11th of August, 2023. Today is an interesting day because it is Street Fighter Friday, which is exciting. I always like doing a whole day of Street Fighter with you guys. And this week, we are returning to E Honda, which is great because now we're on the PS5 and we need to essentially get the characters I've been using in Street Fighter 6 back to similar rankings of what they were on Xbox. And today will be a full day of ranked gameplay, which is going to always be exciting. Rather than, me doing casual play or a new character and messing around, actually going into ranked and seeing how I do online shall be great. However, today's a weird day. Allow me to explain what's going on, because I've tried to explain this over the past couple of days, and I don't know if I've done a good job or not, okay? So here's the deal. Today, this very stream that I'm streaming live right now will be interrupted. All right? It could be interrupted as early as noon, meaning in 1 hour from now. Okay? However, it's no guarantee that it'll be interrupted at noon. It could be interrupted a little bit on the later side. Basically, sometime in the early afternoon. Okay? The interruption means that the stream has to go offline. For how long, you ask? Well, thanks for asking. I don't know. If all things go according to plan, this should be a quick thing. Like, I would think, if it goes according to plan, maybe 30 minutes. Okay? But, you know how life works. You know that in life there's no guarantees. You know that in life, monkey wrenches get tossed around all the time. Now, I'm an expert monkey wrench dodger, catcher, or redirector. Alright? Because I get these in my life every day. But, some things are just outside of the realm of your control. So I have absolutely no idea really what's going to happen today. In fact, not that I'm going to tell you up front, because I'm not. Remember, I learned my lesson from the last time around. I will tell you stories after they are done. I'm not going to tell you stories before they happen or in the middle. I'm going to tell you once the story is completed, so that way you actually know everything that happened. So as long as nothing crazy happens, tomorrow I should be able to tell you the full story of what's actually going on today, causing a stream interruption. But I'm not going to do that early. That'd be pretty stupid. Okay? So that's the thing. I've actually, been involved with a, situation here where I hope this thing just goes smoothly and well and no problems at all. I mean, in reality, it shouldn't. But that doesn't mean anything. Because reality is a weird thing for me, that's for sure. So we'll see. All right? So here's the deal. Today we're doing our podcast. And I'm excited. I love the Level 1 podcast. We're going to chill today. Do I have too much to talk about? Well, talk a little bit about GTA. We'll talk a little bit about Chrono Trigger. One game news story today, nothing even really major. Mostly, this stream will likely be more just chilling and relaxing, okay? But the thing is, I don't even know if we should even bother starting with Street Fighter gameplay until the interruption happens. But what if the interruption doesn't happen right away? Well, then I don't want to keep you guys hanging either. So here's how we're going to approach it. Let's just do a normal podcast today, okay? If I happen to be interrupted during the podcast and we say, okay, well, the interruption's coming now, then we will end the podcast, turn the stream off, and the stream will return after the interruption is over. Now, how will you know when that's going to happen? Well, I'm going to post up both on my X app, Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it now, which is @TheyCallMeDSP, and I'm going to post up on the community tab here on DSPGaming, and obviously the stream is going to go live, okay? So you'll have multiple ways to be notified and indicated that the stream has come back from the interruption. Hopefully everything will be, fine, and we'll be able to jump into Honda gameplay. So what's my plans for today? Well, as you know, I have converted over from the Xbox Series X to the PS5 when it comes to all fighting games. I have my brand new joystick, the Comba Q7 Obsidian 2, which I am using, and I actually bought a cleaning cloth to clean this thing daily now so that I can keep it nice and shiny and not covered in gross and yucky, nasty crap, right? Great joystick so far. I'm getting used to it. It does take a while to get used to it. The joystick does feel a lot different than the older one I used to use, but I like it so far. The buttons are great in my opinion. So, I'll be using this today. And the thing is, when you jump platforms in Street Fighter 6, your rankings don't carry over. So even though I was master with Blanca, I got to climb all the way up from the bottom. Well, I had only played one session with Honda in Street Fighter 6. It was last week, actually. And I had started with great rankings and ended up starting placement in Diamond 1. And in one day, I went from Diamond 1 all the way up to mid to high Diamond 3, to the point where if I played another session on Xbox, I'd probably hit Diamond 4, Diamond 5, and keep going, and maybe even hit Master within a couple of streams. So it was going really well. And people were shocked because they're like, dude, you never played with Honda. All of a sudden, you're playing with Honda, and you're doing these strategies. You're kicking everyone's butt. It's like, yeah, I don't know what else to say. You're right. I'm doing pretty good with Honda, man. And the thing is, unlike everyone who's spamming online with their Hondas, which a lot of people have been doing, I don't do that. I play a real game with mix-ups and combos and traps and reversals and setups and things that are intelligent because I understand Street Fighter. I'm not just spamming crap online and getting away with it, okay? So, that was pretty good last week. Now the thing is, everything reset. So the goal today is to hit the placement matches and do well, hopefully better than I did with Blanca the other day, because that screwed me. For those who don't know, earlier this week, I used Blanca in ranked on the PS5, and I got screwed in my placement matches. Basically, first of all, I won my first 3 easily. Then they put me against, it was either like a 5-star platinum or a diamond Guile, who literally was a turtle. He didn't attack. He just sat there throwing sonic booms the whole round. For those who don't know, that's one of the best strategies in this game. And quite frankly, I feel like Blanca's pretty bad against it. Like, you can't react to it. You can't go through the sonic booms. Can't go under them because you can't react fast enough in this game to go under a sonic boom with the slide. You have to guess he's going to do it and do it early. And if you guess wrong, you get punished by a combo. So, really, there's nothing to do. I got counterplayed. And I lost those 2 matches. Then I played a Ryu who proceeded to be insanely lucky, guessing, randomness, throwing out random reversals, random level 3 super out of nowhere. This guy mashed jab and did 3 jabs into level 3 super. Mashing jab. Wasn't like, oh, I know this is going to hit. It's like, oh, I'm just going to try this as a desperation move. And it did like 50% damage. I'm like, this is the luckiest Ryu I've ever fought. Of course, he has to be in my placement matches against my Blanca. And then the last match, which is even worse, was a Rashid, and he was decent, but his connection was terrible. The game was constantly lagging up and unfreezing and freezing and unfreezing, and it was impossible to even play it as a serious match. So, basically, my placement matches were a joke, and the game put me in 1-star platinum, which is the stupidest ranking ever, because then I proceeded for the rest of the day to destroy everyone in the platinum ranks. Like, I think one person all day beat me. Outside of that, everyone else, I won every single set, and I went from 1-star platinum all the way up to past 3-star platinum into almost 4 in one sitting, but it was very frustrating and essentially a real waste of time. I mean, did I get a lot of practice on my new joystick? Yes, that's a good thing. I kind of broke it in a little bit, and I was getting used to using it. But truth be told, I shouldn't have been at 1-star platinum. It's ridiculous. I'm slapping these people around, and it's not really fair. And a lot of people were like, yeah, the stream was kind of boring. I agree. I'm sorry for that. I didn't want it to be. I didn't make the placements be so stupid like this game did, okay? So today, essentially, it's a do-over, but this time with E-Honda. Let's hope for the best with the E-Honda placements. Seriously, please, let the matches not be laggy. Let it not be a pure counter-pick situation. Let it be a situation where I can actually have fair matches. I'm not saying I need to beat all 10 placement matches. I'm just saying, dude, let me have decent matches so at least I can maybe get into Diamond 1, which is what I was at with Honda last week, so that the rest of today's streams can be just me playing ranked Diamond matches with Honda and leveling him up. Now, last night, I watched a few E-Honda matches, well, not matches, but video compilations on YouTube of high-level Honda play. And I actually saw some really cool strategies that I didn't realize were as good. For example, one of the things I've been doing is drive rush standing roundhouse, which is this big stretching roundhouse kick. And if it counter hits, it'll stuff whatever the enemy's doing. And now you have a couple options. But what I found out is that if you're just a little bit closer, if you do drive rush low medium kick, it's a better option because if it hits, you can get a free combo off of it, a full combo. Like after that, you do light, heavy headbutt. And that's great. I mean, a combo conversion is much better than just a one hit and out guess. So that's something new I can do. Some people on fight, when the game just starts, look to see if their opponent jumps, because a lot of them are neutral jumping, because if you on fight do a drive rush, it's a good strategy. So maybe round 2, the opponent will jump instead to try to avoid your drive rush. Well, guess what? You have the butt slam, which is a perfect anti-air. So on fight, if they jump, just do the butt slam. Immediately you got damage and you got advantage in the match. So I'm going to start implementing that today. I've also noticed that if you do the butt slam and you hit them with the hit, it creates a ground bounce if it's a counter hit. And after ground bounce, you can do an easy combo, which is just standing roundhouse, cancel into the palms that launch into a finisher. So that I'm going to try to implement today. Geez, what else? I saw so much. Seriously, I saw so much good stuff. So in the corner now, whenever I do a wall bounce or a drive impact in the corner, which I do every once in a while with Honda, I'm going to now try to implement a different combo. What I've been doing is my standard combo, which is roundhouse into the palm launch into the butt slam. Instead of the butt slam, I'm going to now try to do hands, and then after hands, do a headbutt, and then after that, if I have a super, cancel into super. That's a crazy good corner combo that I've not been doing. I've just been doing the standard combo, and I'm losing a lot of damage potential because of that. Lastly, there is another great strategy with Honda that the top players are doing. Whenever you down your opponent, so you headbutt them, whenever it's a clean downing, he has a move called Sumo Spirit, and only he can hear it. Okay, that's a Street Fighter 6 joke most of you probably didn't understand. But there's a move called Sumo Spirit. I think it's down, down, and kick, okay? What Sumo Spirit does, it powers up his 100-hand slaps, so that if you combo it, there's an extra hit that allows you to continue the combo after the 100-hand slap connects. So what I've noticed is people will ground someone with Honda, do the Sumo Spirit. Now, you have a cool strategy, all right, where you can try to poke and bait them into getting hit by the hands. And if they do, you get a giant combo. So what I noticed is they'll do like low short, and then all of a sudden, right after low short, low fierce punch. Low fierce punch is this move where he walks forward and does like a ground swipe with his big meaty arm, and it's a counter hit move. So if they're doing anything and it interrupts, you got a counter hit and you can immediately cancel into hands. And if you have the Sumo Spirit, he goes blah, 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 and then another extra hit, and now they're wide open. You could do jab, jab, headbutt. You could do jab, butt slam. It all depends on the situation that you're in and where you want to do it. So, I want to try to implement that today. I got to remember, if I ground the opponent, turn on Sumo Spirit, and then fish. It's basically fishing for 100 hands. Because if you can get that one counter hit into 100 hands, you got a big combo coming that'll be a good chunk of damage. It's very, very worth it to do it. And one other thing, all these things I learned just by watching videos last night. Back fierce, which is the chop, is incredibly good. People are just doing it. It counter hits like crazy. If they're coming in on you and you just do this, it'll interrupt half the time. And even if it trades, it's in your favor. You do a giant chunk of damage and you stopped whatever the hell they were doing. It very rarely gets stuffed. So it's a great defensive move. Just throw that chop out there when they're trying to get into your face, and half the time it'll knock them back or it'll interrupt or trade. It's a great move. So I have all these new strategies and things to try to implement today. that I'm going to try to do with my Honda gameplay today. Now, I might forget half of them, which is fine. As long as I implement one or two things, it's good. And I'm going to try to remember all these things if I can. I don't know. You guys just heard them. I mean, Big Papa Phil's here, and he's at Honda Main. So he could remind me of these things as I'm playing. Say, hey, you forgot to do the sumo spear. Or, hey, you're forgetting about, in the corner, instead of doing butt slam, do the 100 hands and do a juggle combo. Help me out with that. All right? Because that, I mean, yeah, it's tough. When I've been, juggling so many characters and trying to remember all this crap and all the other stuff that's happening today, too, I can get a little scatterbrained. And obviously, I don't want to be scatterbrained, but any help is greatly appreciated. Tell me, remind me of these strategies I'm trying to implement with Honda today. Okay? So, today is Street Fighter Friday, and that means after our interruption, there will be Street Fighter 6 gameplay with Honda on this first stream. And then tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time for Friday Night Fights. Yes, there will be a second stream, and both of these should be ranked Honda gameplay. Hopefully, I can do really well and get Honda possibly ranked all the way up to where I had him last week on Xbox. How cool would that be if I can get Honda right up to 3-star diamond, so now we're equal level with where we were on Xbox last week? That would be good. I would really be happy if that happened. I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see. Okay, we will. We'll see. But any progress is good progress, and anything, I mean, I've got to do better than I did with freaking Blanca. I can't imagine getting placed at 1-star platinum again. Now that I said that, watch them put me in the iron or something, right? Anyway, so that's what's going on today. Let's talk a little bit about yesterday, because I want to talk about the streams yesterday when I came back from break, which was a nice streaming day, by the way. Nice chill streaming day, a lot of interaction and fun. So the first stream yesterday was GTA 5, which we're making great progress in. At this point, we are around 15 hours into our playthrough. Let me confirm that. Wrong. We are 20 hours into our playthrough. I didn't even realize, okay? Now, from all reports, if you do a lot of the content in GTA 5, it takes about 40 hours. Well, the first playthrough that I did of GTA 5, I didn't. The first playthrough, I did the main story missions, and I did whatever was looked on the map as a letter mission. So if it had a letter next to it, I did it. Anything else, I avoided. So I didn't know, for example, about races, aerial stunts, the delivery missions for Weed, or the package deliveries for Trevor. I didn't do any of those. I skipped all of that content in my original run. Well, I'm doing all that stuff this time. So my playthrough already is longer than the original run was. And a lot of people who are actually watching this playthrough are saying, Phil, no lie, this is way better than your first. Your first, you could tell you were in a rush to finish because you want to get those videos out. Back then, it was all about the day one views on YouTube, right? And that was, it was a different time, and that's okay. Makes sense. Back then, that's what it was all about. But now things are different. You take your time, you stream, and you interact with us. It's much better now, and we like this playthrough better. So I'm happy about that. It's a shame that I basically have about 1/20th of the audience today that I had 10 years ago, because it would have been great if all those people could watch the better playthrough and enjoy it. But what are you going to do? That's life, right? Things change over time. So, I'm enjoying it very much. And now we're 20 hours in. Yesterday we did a ton of content for Franklin, and then we switched to Trevor, and we did like 2 hours with Trevor. So, lots of progress. I think as of the next time we play, which would be tomorrow, it's looking like we're actually going to finish up the odds and ends missions, and we're probably going to do the next heist, the second heist of the game with Trevor. So we'll see how that goes, because I actually don't remember the second heist at all. Really. I remembered the first heist. I remember the jewelry store getting robbed. That's the only one I really remember. I don't remember any of the other heist missions in this game. So I guess we'll see how it goes tomorrow on the main stream and go from there. All right, should be fun. So, yes, tomorrow, more GTA 5 continuing on. And like I said, we're 20 hours in. I would predict this playthrough will be at least 40 hours long. It may be longer than that. And the good thing is, it's a major focus stream. Like, for example, this week, I'm playing it again Saturday. I'm playing it again Tuesday. And I'm playing it again Thursday. So there's 9 more hours of GTA 5 coming this week alone. So there's a lot of progress coming in this game. So, yeah, I think we're making great, solid progress. And we'll definitely finish this game by the time Starfield comes out, which is the goal. Okay. Last night was my second session of Chrono Trigger. And the game got good because, number one, we had to break the protagonist, Chrono, out of jail, which we did. Then we got thrown into a time warp and thrown into the future. So now we're in this futuristic post-apocalyptic society. Everything about the world has changed. There's actually advanced robotics, and we got a new teammate who's a robot. and it was really neat. We did this 2 or 3 dungeons in this post-apocalyptic environment. It was it was very fun. The music is still great, and now we actually got to essentially the hub of the game. There's actually a central time hub from which you can travel to all different time periods. So we ended up kind of just being there, and that's where we ended. So when we continue on in a couple of days, well, actually tomorrow night, it'll actually be, continuing on from a different perspective in your own era, which will be pretty neat. So I'm excited for more. I love Chrono Trigger. Now I want to say this, all right? Chrono Trigger's not getting a ton of views on streams, all right? Chrono Trigger did not get great support last night, okay? Chrono Trigger is a game I've wanted to play for a decade. It's a game that's one of my favorite games of all time, and I want to play it regardless. You understand? I'm going to be honest. 10 years ago when I played Chrono Trigger, it also did poorly. And that's when I was 20 times more popular. When I played Chrono Trigger 10 years ago, people said, why are you playing an old game? I don't understand why you're playing old games. Why aren't you playing a new game? Why don't you play Grand Theft Auto? Why don't you play this? And I was like, because it's a retro game that I love. I grew up playing it. It's a game where tons of other games have learned from and or evolved from. It's part of gaming history. You really should give it a shot. And most of my audience a decade ago said, oh, you hate this game. Don't play old games. Play new games. And it was frustrating. It was one of the times when I actually got into arguments with my audience, even on Twitter. I was posting up on Twitter and people were arguing with me, oh, you're so offensive to your audience. You should listen to what your audience wants. And I was like, oh, so basically I should never play classic games ever in my life because you guys are basically being very ignorant towards them. That's pretty stupid. But anyway, it was pretty bad a decade ago. I'm not going to lie. People were so demanding of constant new stuff. They didn't ever want to see me play retro stuff, which really sucked. At least today, what I can say is, when we play a classic game, all right, I get an audience for it, and they come and chill. So, for example, with Chrono Trigger, there absolutely is an audience who's there to enjoy Chrono Trigger, and I'm very happy for that. I'm having a good time playing the game, okay? Today, views don't really matter to me. I don't care if I have 200 viewers on the stream for Chrono Trigger. I really don't. It's not a big deal. And as long as everything evens out, meaning as long as everything else is going well, then it doesn't matter that Chrono Trigger ends up being a slow stream, okay? It could be the slow stream. But I'm nervous that what's going to end up happening is this game ends up being the slow game, and it doesn't get support. And what if there's a day when also the other stream I'm doing doesn't get support? That's going to be a concern. So what I'll say is this. First of all, for those supporting GTA, for those supporting Street Fighter, thank you. You guys are making it possible for me to play Chrono Trigger. And I mean that too. And that may not even be your intention. Your intention may be, hey, I love Street Fighter, that's why I support it. Or, hey, I love the GTA playthrough, that's why I'm supporting it. Well, you don't even realize that your generosity and your support of my content allows me to then go on and play other things that I like. You see? Thank you for that. A lot of people take that for granted. I don't. I love Chrono Trigger. This is a game I've wanted to play for 10 years. And ever since I became an interactive streamer 6 years ago, I've wanted to do a second run of it. Now I'm doing it, and I'm having a grand time doing it. So thank you for allowing me to have these night streams that are so fun and chill with an audience that actually cares. 10 years ago, the audience didn't care. They didn't even want me to play the game. They were yelling at me that I played it. Today, I have a different kind of audience, and I'm happy for that. Okay? So, I didn't update the schedule. I will fix that. People are saying I did not update the Nightbot schedule. Thank you for telling me. I will update that right now. Okay. That should be fixed now. Let's test it. Shall we? Perfect. Look at that. On-the-fly corrections. Thank you for telling me. That's what it's all about. It's about the community interaction and the community help. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for telling me that my schedule was wrong. There you go. Okay, so once again, thank you to those supporting my streams and content who are allowing me through your support to play Chrono Trigger. Right now, Chrono Trigger is very slow for support. Just being honest. Now, maybe that'll change. Maybe things will pick up. Maybe we'll have some good streams of Chrono Trigger moving forward, and it won't be the dead last stream when it comes to support. Or maybe it will. I don't know. All right? But as long as everything else keeps going the way it's going, then it won't matter. Okay? So let's see what happens. If you're someone who's watching Chrono Trigger on demand, please enjoy. Please consider, first of all, engaging with the videos, liking, and leaving comments. And of course, maybe a super thanks on the video, or perhaps a tip. That would help tremendously, since I'm not making anything else on the videos or on the playthrough. Like I said, the stream, very slow. I think we had like less than $10 of tips and maybe one member and maybe like one super chat. And it's like, well, it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and bitch because I'm having, everything else is good. If everything was bad, that'd be a different story. It's definitely not that at all. It's the complete opposite. So, okay. So anyway, that was yesterday. All right. You already know today, all day long, is Honda ranked in Street Fighter 6 after this interruption happens. Okay. Tomorrow, GTA 5 continues on the daytime stream, as I already said. Likely we'll be finishing up odds and ends missions and then doing the second big heist in the game. I think once that heist is completed, that pushes you into the next part of the game, which could be considered like the third quarter of the game, I think, and go from there. Tomorrow night is something very special. On tomorrow night's late stream, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, over on my React channel, DSP Reacts, we are doing a very special late night chill stream. It's going to be, listen to this, DSP's Game of the Year Awards Tier Maker Showdown. What does that mean? Well, I have been a content creator for 15 years, all right? At the end of every single year, I do a Game of the Year Awards countdown of my personal favorite picks, right? Now, we're going to be doing tomorrow night. We're going to be looking back at the last 12 years, starting in 2010 and going all the way through 2012. And we're going to be looking at the games that I either picked as the Game of the Year or the runner-up. So 24 games will be examined and discussed and ranked. So the question is, what games to this day have stood the test of time? What games are still considered masterpieces by the common gamer and are still talked about in a high capacity? Or, on the flip side of that, what games in the moment were highly regarded, but over the years have aged like milk? What games are not good at all anymore and no one talks about and everyone laughs at and are jokes, right? Because I guarantee you we're going to have an interesting mix of games that are stupendously great and games that, what the hell, how do we even say that game was ever good, right? So, it's going to be fun. We're going to be ranking these games together. And I guarantee you, as we rank these games, there's going to be a lot of disagreements. There's going to be people arguing one way or the no, this one should be here, this one should be here. How could you rank that one above this one? I love that. So it's going to be a late night stream over on DSP React. Will it take the entire 2 hours? I don't know. Maybe it'll take an hour, hour and a half. And if it does end early, we have options. We could just sit there and chill, and we can have some Q&A. We could throw in a little bit of Street Fighter gameplay or something like that. Whatever we have time for. But that's what I'm thinking. It'll be a fun anniversary celebration stream. And I'm happy to do that for you guys. Something special for the month. To get a nice tier maker out over on DSP Reacts will also be an extra video that everyone should enjoy. On Sunday, it's going to be DSP versus the Internet. This is my weekly Clips React show where I watch back clips as submitted by the members of DSP React. We have over 140 members on the channel. So, we may have more videos submitted than ever before. We'll see how the show goes. Remember, Ultra members are guaranteed to have their videos watched, while standard members go into a playlist that's put on random select on YouTube. And, therefore, that will be interesting. I love that show every week, the Saturday show, or Sunday show. Now, Sunday night, we're going to do another late night stream of Chrono Trigger, okay? Monday will be the return of Street Fighter 6, and likely I will revert back to Blanca and do more Blanca ranked matches. And then Monday night, I'm thinking of doing a chill stream of Street Fighter 6 World Tour Mode. I haven't done World Tour Mode now in, again, almost a month. I liked doing the World Tour Mode when we were doing it. We were making good progress. We were running into different Street Fighter characters. It was a good time. So I kind of want to continue on with that. I think we'll do that Monday night for some variety. Tuesday will be more GTA 5 and more Chrono Trigger. Wednesday will be another session of ranked. Maybe we'll do more Honda. And Wednesday night is up in the air. It could be more Street Fighter 6 World Tour. It could be... Actually, I take that back. I screwed it up. Community night is going to be Monday night. I completely screwed up the streams. Monday night is community night, where we're going to do a lobby where everyone can join and play against me in Street Fighter 6. That's what Monday night is. Sorry about that. I even screwed that up on the schedule last night. I knew something was wrong. I was scratching my head. I was like, what did I do wrong on the schedule last night? That's what I did wrong, is that it's community night on Monday night. Tuesday will be GTA 5 and Chrono Trigger. Wednesday then will be Street Fighter 6 ranked, probably Honda, and probably World Tour mode on the late stream. And then Thursday, we'll do more GTA 5 and either Chrono Trigger or maybe some Street Fighter. We'll figure it out. Yes, this week is an 8-day streaming week, meaning I'm here today, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. There's 7 more streaming days, including today this week. I know that's crazy, but yeah, crazy, right? All right, so, interesting week. Now, one other thing. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this month, on Saturday the 26th, it's a little bit over 2 weeks away from today, it is my 15th anniversary retrospective celebration. This is the day where we're really going to celebrate me as a YouTuber hitting my 15-year anniversary, okay? So, this marathon is going to have many different things going on. But the first thing we're doing, and the primary focus, excuse me, is going to be that I'm going to be watching back clips that you guys nominate, and we're going to be reacting to them live. Your favorite moments from my 15-year-long run as a content creator will be reviewed and watched and reacted to live on this stream. But I need you to nominate the moments, okay? Right now, if you type !retrospective into the chat command will trigger the link, and that's the link you can use to nominate your favorite moments. Please do so. The more moments we have nominated, the better the show will be. Just like with my weekly clips react show, it's the same premise, all right? So please, post up. I need more submissions. I'll tell you right now, we were just went with the submissions we have today. This would be a 2-hour show. Well, it's a marathon, so we need way more submissions. Please submit your favorite moments to watch back. I would really, really appreciate that, okay? Now, if you're a channel member, you're in luck. If you're a member this month, you get priority to have your submitted moments watched on the show. Because the way we're going to do it is there's 2 threads. There's the common thread for everyone, and then there is the members-only thread. So what you just saw in the chat is the common thread for everyone. However, if you're a member, please head to the main channel page of DSPGaming, the community tab. Scroll to the beginning of the month, and you're going to see there was a post just for channel members. Or if you're a member, I believe there's actually a members tab on the main channel page that'll just show you the members-only posts. That's an easier way for you to find it. Find the post, and please, in that post up, members will be watched first. Yes, we're going to watch the member submissions first, and then we're going to watch the general submissions. Okay? So, please post up. Now, also happening that day, I will be drinking shots of some kind of liquor. I don't know what. I'm going to get something at the liquor store beforehand. And what it'll be is basically anyone who contributes a large contribution, of a large tip, I'll take a shot. So we'll see how many shots I take for my anniversary celebration, if I get sloshed or not, all right? In addition, my wife will be making food for that day. What food? We don't know yet. We've been talking about it, and she said she wants to look for some recipes online, and that should be fun. She'll be making, various food. Maybe she'll make a big meal. I don't know. But we're going to be doing a food video, a mukbang, whatever the hell you want to call it. We'll be having some food together from my wife as well, all right? So there's going to be some good stuff going on there. Now, Derek just said, if you're a channel member, can you post up in the regular thread? Yes. If you're a channel member, you get to double dip. You get to post up in the members only thread, and you get to post up in the everybody thread. You get double priority if you're a member this month. If ever there was a month where you get a lot of options and a lot of good power because you're a member, this is the month. Double dip. Become a member today and double dip. Dip that chip, take a bite, take a second dip. As disgusting as that sounds, because your saliva is now in the dip, you get to do that this month. Correct. It is a massive flex. Anyway, so that's going to be an exciting event at the end of the month. And after that event, then we head into the busy gaming season. Because the busy gaming season this year is very busy. We've got Starfield, Lies of P, Mortal Kombat 1, just to name a few, in about the first 2 weeks of September. And then after that, pretty much every week there's new games. Don't even get me started. October's insane. October, I don't know what they were thinking. Within like 10 days, there's like 5 major releases that everyone wants to play. So I don't even know how we're doing that. We're going to have to pick and choose because there's no way I can play all those games. It's going to be insane. But anyway, I'm definitely excited. By the way, one final thing. Armored Core 6 comes out on Friday the 25th of August. Someone gifted me a code. I don't have the code yet. Supposedly I'm supposed to get it around the 25th. Sadly, it looks like the 25th is going to have to be a day off for me, and there's no way around it. All right? It wasn't originally planned that way. This is just how the cards have fallen. I can't even change it. My hands are tied. All right? So what that means is that I will play Armored Core, but sadly, it looks like I won't be able to play Armored Core until, like, maybe the 28th at the earliest. Because the 26th is our marathon. The 27th is DSP versus the Internet. So the earliest I could play Armored Core is the 28th. And I apologize wholeheartedly to all of you. I literally can't change my schedule at this point. I'm locked into it. It sucks. I don't want that. I didn't want that to begin with. I didn't want to have an 8-day week this week. I didn't want to have my schedule changed for multiple weeks, but it already happened. I wish this was something, this is not something I can control. It's not something in my life that I'm doing or scheduling. It's just something that's a circumstance, okay? So, yes, it looks like I'll be trying Armored Core just a few days after it actually comes out. What can you do, right? Okay. All right, so I covered everything that I wanted to cover. I will say, hold on one second here. I will say this. Sadly, we lost some more members overnight. It happens, all right? My goal for today is to get us back above 500 members and hopefully even get a little step further. So even if we lose a few members overnight and then tomorrow, we're still at 500. I want to keep us at 500. So, one of the absolute best ways you can support DSP Gaming today would be to become a member or to give some memberships. Please consider it, all right? This community is a great community. A lot of people, fun, interactive, positive. It's a great environment. I love being on this channel and hanging out with you guys every day. That's why I do it for a living, right? And people absolutely appreciate when they get gifted memberships. They do. So please consider supporting the channel today and maybe gifting some memberships. I would love if by the end of this podcast we could be above 500 members. That would be stupendous. Okay? What the? I didn't get a call, but I got a voicemail. Hold on one second. Nothing important. No worries. Okay, I thought it was applying to today's interruption. It wasn't. It was something completely unrelated and stupid. Okay. Sorry, I may have to do that a few times today during the podcast. I need to be on the ball here because there is an interruption coming and I got to be ready for it. Okay. So, what were we were talking about memberships. Thank you to anyone who becomes a member or supports today via gifting memberships. Thanks in advance. Let's get to shout-outs. We start off today with DJ Sonic Swag, who did a super chat and says, I would rather contribute to you than LTG. Now, that's the beauty of human life, and that's the beauty of being somewhere where you have freedom of choice, right? Is that you can support whoever you choose to support. If you like my content above someone else's, support it. If you like my work ethic, if you like the fact that I operate differently, right? No product placements, no lengthy advertisements and shilling, knowing that every time that I play a game, it's legit. It's not me advertising for someone. Me not pushing products down your throat, correct? There you go. Please support. If you like someone else's content, go support that too. It's pretty good you have that freedom. But I appreciate that sentiment. And thank you. You know, the way I see it, you know, my content right now is kind of weird because usually I'd be Mr. Casual. I'd be the guy who dicks around with fighting games and doesn't take them seriously while juggling a million other games at once. In reality, it's the opposite. I've actually been taking Street Fighter 6 seriously. It's been about a month and a half now since the game came out. And I'm getting better and better with the characters that I'm now focusing on as mains. I'm leveling up. I got master with one. It looks like I was on the road to master with the other. But then I decided to change it up and change over from one console to another and get better controls and upgrade my setup to get even better. So, yeah, it's the first time in so many years where I took stuff seriously, right? And I'm happy that people are embracing that people are actually coming now to this channel to watch me play fighting games. It's been a long time, all right? So this is excellent that this is happening, okay? So there you go. There you go. Cool. Oh, yeah, speaking of fighting games, there is something else I looked into. So apparently the Mortal Kombat 1 beta is running 4 days, which is weird because I thought it would only be 3, but it's running Friday the 18th, Saturday the 19th, Sunday the 20th, and Monday the 21st. And since it is running all 4 of those days, first of all, I'm not here on Friday the 18th. That's next Friday, and I won't be here next Friday. Next Friday is my day off. Therefore, I'm not doing it on the 18th. However, I will play it all day long on the 19th. Okay? So the 19th, Saturday the 19th, Mortal Kombat 1 on PlayStation 5 all day long. I'm going to buy the game this week, preload it, and we're going to check out that beta. Now, that Sunday, we will not do it. Okay? And, yeah, I will not do it. Instead, we'll do DSP versus the Internet, and we'll probably do a variety stream that night, maybe Street Fighter 6. And then Monday, the 21st, I'll also play the Mortal Kombat 1 beta all day. So we're going to have 2 days of the Mortal Kombat 1 beta coming up next weekend. And that'll be some good variety for the streams thrown in there. That obviously will be a little different. And it'll lessen the amount of Street Fighter 6 we're playing. It'll be more variety in fighting games. For those who are too Street Fighter 6'd out, well, we're going to reduce that and we're going to try Mortal Kombat 1 next weekend. Okay? Now, don't count on me playing at a high level. I've done zero research about Mortal Kombat 1. I'm going to be flubbing it and sucking, but that's okay. Everyone will be. So that's fine. We'll all be on the same level, messing around and sucking and trying out stuff and trying to figure out the game together. It'll be a good time, I feel. Okay? So, there you have it. All right, let's continue with shout-outs. Thank you, DJ Sonic Swag, for that super chat. Shell Ryukin just did a $10 super chat. It's good to see you, Shell Ryukin. I hope you're doing well. He wants to talk about his progress in Street Fighter 6. Let's get him on the leaderboard first. He says, what is up, DSP? Hope you're doing well. I just hit 5-star diamond with Marisa. Not having a win streak bonus is hell with all of these Ken and Jury players that are running rampant. I agree with you. Because just like you, all right, I wasn't playing this game full time, all right? I was balancing it with other games. So while everyone else ran to master by playing the shit out of their mains within like a month, I was juggling 5, 6, 7 characters. I was playing RPGs and other games. So finally I'm like, okay, we're real close to master with Blanca. Let's make the push. The day I go to do it, oh, we removed the win streak bonuses. Seriously? So now I've got like a 10 win streak and I'm only getting 40 points per win. And it's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Why would they change it? I feel this bullshit. Because all that's doing is it's making it harder for those who didn't rush to get master right away. Which is stupid. It rewarded those who played the shit out of the game early. Which is stupid. Not everyone had the ability to do that. Nor chose to do that. And what exactly did they fix by removing the win streak bonus? I'm at a loss. If you're getting a win streak, it's obvious that the difficulty level you're in is too easy for you. You should be rewarded with more points instead of having to grind away with an insane amount of repetitive matches. Now, you just hit the nail on the head. When you're around that ranking, you're going to be constantly facing the top tiers. And let's be honest, certain characters are not top tier and they have a harder time dealing with those top tiers, right? If you're not using an absolute top tier character, it's rough. I would say Marisa, in my estimation, is mid tier. I don't think she's top tier at all. I think when she gets in that one counter hit or when she gets in that one mix up, she can do insane damage. But I don't think she has the high priority, the speed, and the tools that a lot of other characters have. So to get to that ranking is tougher than if, say, you're playing Ken or Jury, who literally can play pattern play and ease your way into the higher echelons of this game. So it's very annoying, right? When you're playing and you're like, oh, I'm 5-star diamond. Okay, let me try to push to master. Oh my god, I just fought 4 Kens in a row, and every one of them narrowly beat me by barely doing anything and hitting me once for 50% damage twice around, right? It's stupid. I agree with you. I feel the pain. This game can be really annoying in that regard. I get the feeling it's going to be the same thing with me and now with Honda, now that I'm trying to get Honda up there, that I'm going to get to that rank and it's going to be like pulling teeth trying to gain points. So the other dumb thing is, even now if you're at lower rank, you're effed. I'm at lower rank now with Blanca. Started over. I'm stuck in lower platinums. And even though I'm slamming everyone around, 16 win streaks, I'm getting 40, 50 points a win. So it's going to take me how many hundreds of matches to get up to freaking master when I don't need to do that? I shouldn't have to. They messed up this ranking system. Anyway, it is what it is. I wish you the best. I hope that you get to master sooner rather than later. I'm along with that grind with you here with both Blanca and Honda. So, okay, let's swap over to some tips, shall we? Our first tip of the day is $29.99, and it is from Game Tracker. Thank you very much, Game Tracker, for your ongoing support of my Street Fighter content. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Let's get an animation played for you. Let's see what he has to say. Okay. Okay. So, Game Tracker says the following. With my tip this morning, I have a request. You made a switch to PlayStation 5. This strikes me as a good time to try switching up something else. One thing I don't believe you tried is changing the voice acting from English to Japanese. How about checking that out? Well, interesting request, interesting thing to bring up. Sometimes when I watch gameplay of Street Fighter 6 on YouTube, it's in Japanese. It's not in English, okay? In reality, for the vast majority of characters, it's not a big change. A lot of these characters, like they're saying Hadouken, they still say Hadouken. So it's not like they're saying Fireball, Dragon Punch. No, they're actually saying the original Japanese names, so you kind of know what they are. However, there will be big changes to the American-speaking characters. So, for example, Kimberly, when she dashes and she was coming in, and when you hear that, you can recognize that she's saying it and know that she's doing a dash move, and you can react to it. One key character that this is a thing, JP, because when he's doing all of his ranged projectiles, then he has the one that's the grab. Well, when he says that phrase, and I forget what phrase it is, but it's distinct. It sounds completely different from all the other things he says when he's throwing out his other projectiles. And I've been actually using that auditory cue as a way to tell when he's doing the throw, not the standard projectile move. So because of that, that's what's actually allowing me to know that I need to do something different. So here's the thing. I'm getting to the point where I play the game 2.5 months. The audio cues are actually starting to be a factor for me now. If I now change to Japanese, there may be a factor that anyone who is speaking English in the game, now that their voice acting has been changed, I'm going to react differently. I don't know. We could try it just for a test. Like Honda, it really wouldn't affect. He's already Japanese, right? But other characters for sure. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Right? I guess I'll leave it to the audience today, see what they think. If you want me to change the voice acting to Japanese, we could definitely do that for some variety and see if it mixes stuff up or what it actually changes, right? I guess we'll see. Looks like it's about 50-50. People say keep it English. Nope, give it a shot, change it. Middle of the road. People seem to be middle of the road on it. So, we'll see. We'll see today when we play what we want to do. Maybe we'll give it a shot just to try it and see how it changes things, okay? Okay. I received a $4.20 tip from an anonymous tipper, okay? The anonymous tipper says the following. How is your week going? I don't know if you're having a Mandela effect. Didn't you start a retro replay of Chrono Trigger or another JRPG a few years ago? For some reason, I remember Chrono Trigger vividly. What's going on? And then he continues on with more stuff. Well, let me answer. No. In the last few years, I've done replays of Earthbound, Super Mario RPG, right? Years and years ago, I did that Secret of Mana remake. Maybe that's what you're confusing, because the art style is very similar. The gameplay is different, but the art style is very similar between Secret of Mana and Chrono Trigger. So I'm almost thinking that might be what you're thinking of, okay? But no, outside, I have not played Chrono Trigger in 10 years. It's been somewhere, I remember the summer of retro, which was the summer of 2013. I got all those complaints. That's the last time I actually played Chrono Trigger, okay? So, no, it's literally been a decade. But maybe that's exactly why, because there's other things that were similar that were different games, but looked the same. Okay. Now, it says, would you be interested in the PS5 Valkyrie profile game that came out recently, or in some new or retro games that could boost attendance? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what the new Valkyrie profile game is. I've never played a Valkyrie profile game, so I don't know much about it. Chrono Cross might be one that's unfairly maligned. Now, I heard they did remake Chrono Cross recently, right, for modern consoles. Not to say that they did a whole remake, but I think they updated the graphics. They updated some gameplay mechanics. They basically modernized it, correct? I never played Chrono Cross. For what I'm to understand, it's not really a sequel to Chrono Trigger, but it was a game that was meant to continue on the series, but for some reason, people didn't really like it. It wasn't well received, and because it wasn't well received, it never got any further games. Like, that was the end of the series. After Chrono Cross, it ended, which people didn't expect. They thought, man, this series is good, it'll continue, and it never did. So, I don't know. I never played it. Maybe I should play Chrono Cross one day. It is one that I missed out on, and since they did remake it, perhaps it would make sense to actually, check it out at some point. Okay? Okay. So people are saying right now in the chat, so Big Papa Phil says, Chrono Cross had amazing music and a ton of characters and cool stories for those characters, but it didn't play at all like a Chrono Trigger game. Daxma says Chrono Cross was good, but not nearly as good as Chrono Trigger. There you go. If you're going to make a sequel to one of the best RPGs of all time, it better be great. And apparently it wasn't, and that's why people don't talk about Chrono Cross that much. I guess that makes sense. I mean, that would definitely make sense. Okay, continuing on. I received a $5 tip from Big Papa Phil. Thank you so much, Big Papa Phil. Let's see what he has to say, but let's get his animation up first. So Big Papa Phil says, hopefully matchmaking won't screw you over in placements today. I want to remind you of something. The last few times you played Honda, mostly community night, I noticed you whiffed fierce anti-air a few times, didn't know why. I remember standing fierce as an anti-air needs to be pressed right as the opponent will make contact with you. It has to be pressed as they get to you. Otherwise, it'll whiff if you press it early. There you go. So it's about the timing. The difference, here's the thing. Here's why that's challenging. Every character in this game has a different jump in. All right? They are all different ranges and different speeds. For example, certain characters have stretchy jump ins. Like Luke, Zangief. They have stretchy leg jump-ins where their legs are extended. So you have to hit the button a little earlier for when their foot's going to connect with your body. Other characters have more stubby jump-ins. For example, Ken, with his jumping fierce punch, which is almost a downward punch, you have to do it later. So the timing is going to be different for every character. And that's why I feel like it's going to be tough. It's not a universal anti-air timing. It's a learned timing that you must know when to push to get them out of the air. I wouldn't even mind trading. As long as it stops them from jumping on me, I'll take the trade. But I hate it when you do it and you get stuffed. That's bullshit. And quite frankly, all right, I'll be honest. There are characters like Minot. I think Minot, if she does her jump in early, it's that drop kick animation, it beats it. And I don't like that. I think if you have something that's supposed to be considered an anti-air, that should be an anti-air that's going to beat all generic jump-ins. Now, maybe there's some exceptions. Maybe there's special moves you can do in the air that'll stop it. But I don't like the fact that certain characters seem to have much better jump-ins than others that seem to stuff it. Because I know Minot, I've been trying to perfect anti-air it, and she kicks through every time. Even timing it differently, it still beats it. And that I don't agree with. Because that means now Minot can jump on me for free, unless I predict she's going to jump and I do a butt stomp early, then I can catch her. But outside of that, I can never react to a jump-in. That's stupid. So maybe I'm wrong, but it does seem to me like that's the case. Okay? All right. Can I show the silly TMNT skins before I start up? Can I? I don't even know if you can see them. Can you see them in the game without buying them? Shelryukin says anti-airing different characters is weird, especially with Marisa. Crouching heavy punch. I have to press the button mad early sometimes. Exactly right. It's because of the hitbox. The hitboxes are weird on some of the jump-ins. Like I said, someone has like a stretchy kick, so this is their leg. The hitbox is here on the tippity-tip of their foot. So you have to time it so that your punch is hitting their foot. As opposed to Ken, he's got a stubby down punch, so his hitbox is here. So you have to wait, and then as he's coming down, then you do it. And it's the timing's different, you know? It's not a universal timing. If you had a universal Shoryuken with invincibility, then you just do that. But, you know, a lot of characters don't have that in this game. You got to rely on the anti-air normals, and then you have to have that good timing. That's why matchup knowledge is so important. Really. Matchup knowledge in competitive Street Fighter, it's key. You need to know in each particular match when to do what. It's not just universal pattern play. That's another thing. When I tell you guys about pattern play, that I think a lot of people don't understand. If you're a pattern player, all you do is play a pattern constantly, and you never veer from that pattern. But that means when you get into a situation like what I'm describing, where you need to know the timing of an anti-air, they don't know it. They just throw it out, and if it hits, great, and if it not, I lose the match. Oh well, on to the next, continue to play my pattern. They never adapt, they never learn, they just play the goddamn pattern. That is what I mean by pattern players. They will never learn those matchup timings, they'll just spam shit in a pattern, and it's really annoying. What's up, Juan? Alright, so guys, it is about to be noon. As of now, I have not yet been interrupted. As of now, at any moment, I could be interrupted. So, if I say, oh, I'm getting a phone call, or there's a voicemail, and I gotta stop, and I go over here like this, and I mute the mic, please understand that's what's going on. And it very well could happen at any moment moving forward. Okay? What's going on, Jade? How you doing? Shoryuken says he got 4th place at a local a couple weeks ago. Offline timing is drastically different. Yep. Yeah, because here's the thing. Online, you must predict, especially projectile players. You have to predict that they're going to throw a projectile. There is no way to react on the command. And this game, from mid-screen, full screen maybe, mid-screen, Guiles, Ryus, you can't react to those projectiles. It's just impossible. You'll try, and it'll come out too late, and you'll get hit right in the face with a fireball. So, offline, there's no lag. Immediately when you see that fireball, you can react, and you can actually probably get around them. So now, imagine you're a fireball player. Oops, I can't throw fireballs anymore, because I get fucking counter hit every time, right? Same thing with anti-airs. Online, it's hard to time your anti-air and get that on reaction. Offline, you're going to get Shoryuken every time, right in the face. So you got to change your game up. It's different. I can see offline, most people never jump, right? Online, jumps are safe, because most people don't anti-air right. But offline, probably everyone anti-airs right. So you got to just be constantly drive rushing. You can't do nothing else but just drive rush to get in on opponents. How else are you going to do it? You jump, you get anti-aired. So I can imagine how different it is offline. Now, the thing is, I don't know if I'll ever even play this game offline, honestly. You know, I'll probably always be playing it online, so I'll always have to deal with that online element of nonsense. But that's life, I guess. Okay. All right, so guys, we covered all the topics I wanted to cover. Oh, there's one topic. The thing is, we're not having a formal news segment today because there's not enough news. There's this weird thing that's happened with Rockstar Games. So Rockstar Games has always kind of been wishy-washy or sometimes even opposed to modding communities. I guess today it was announced they bought 2 big modding sites or companies or something. See, I don't know because I'm not into Rockstar Games when it comes to like mods or like GTA Online or Red Dead Online and stuff like that. But apparently there's some modders that they got bought out by Rockstar. And people are like blown away by this. They're like, that's completely different than the attitude up to now. Up to now, it's been like, well, it's our intellectual property. How dare you mod it? And now it's like, now they're saying, no, we're going to embrace this community. In fact, we're buying the companies. We want people to do it. And it's like, huh? Well, that's a weird attitude shift. So you can look into that if you want to. I really don't understand it. I don't think I can really speak on it because I don't understand that community because I'm not part of it, nor do I play those games to really know what's going on there. But apparently it's big. Like, I saw multiple people talking about it in the news circles this morning, and I was like, well, it sucks. I wish I could add something to this, but I really can't because I don't understand it. I don't know what's going on. Here it's called CFX.RE. The team that was behind the biggest Rockstar roleplay and creator communities, 5M and Red M, have been bought out by Rockstar Games. Yeah. Whatever the hell that is. I guess it's a thing of modding tools, right? I guess. I guess. Okay. All right. So, guys, that's what I got. Please, if you would like to ask me a question, tag me in the chat. Let's do some Q&A, and we're going to roll with this podcast as long as we can. If we go to like 12:30 and the interruption still hasn't happened, then maybe we'll decide if we just want to do a little bit of Street Fighter before, because I don't know. This interruption could happen later in the afternoon. If they say earliest it could have happened was noon, and it's now past noon. So we'll see what happens, but I'm hoping for sooner rather than later, but I guess we'll find out. Lady says Crisis Core. What about Crisis Core? How high do I think I'll rank today, says Eddie. I have no idea, Eddie. If you had asked me how high do I think I would have ranked with Blanca the other day, I would have said at minimum Diamond 1 star. And what did I end up at? Platinum 3 star. So with this game and the online way that it works, you know, it's so random. I could be a bronze today. I don't know. Jade says, what food am I having today? What are we having today? I think my wife is making a new recipe. I think she's going to make a beef ragu, which is a pasta dish with a beef-based sauce. I think that's what she's making today. Don't quote me on that, because she has one or two other recipes this week slated as well. And I'm not sure which is which, but I think she's making beef ragu today. Ragu. I like saying ragu for some reason. Let's see here. Daxma says, thanks for getting me into Yakuza Like a Dragon. Game is so good. I agree. I'm happy you're enjoying it. It's a perfect combination of Japanese culture and humor with turn-based JRPG combat, epic story. I mean, it works on all fronts. It's not really bad in any way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, oh, well, this part of the game kind of sucks. No, it's all pretty good. And they did a really great package. Good morning, Alex. Do I still use a screamer video? Do I still use it? I don't know what you're talking about. Can we use the perks to the... Oh, cut off. Could we use the perks to the Ultimate Edition to get turtle stuff? What perks? The only perks in the Ultimate Edition of Street Fighter 6 were, like those tickets, and those tickets don't buy anything. Seriously. Those tickets don't buy a dang thing. Oh, my legs. Oh, my legs. Ooh, ooh. Ouch. Oh, oh, man, I need to get up for a second. I need to get up for a second. Yeah, those tickets buy like nothing. Like, I think you can buy like a color for like an insane amount of tickets. It's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tickets. So I think everyone who bought the Ultimate Edition kind of got ripped off because we thought we were getting value. There's like no value to those tickets. Oh, cool. Mr. Chip 76 says, I bought the Hori Fighting Stick Alpha for PS5, and I love it. That's the stick that I had for Xbox Series X. And yeah, it's perfectly fine. It's a good stick. It's got a little bit of a looser joystick. Those are I think they're called Hayabusa style buttons, which have texture to them, which is nice. It's fine. It's a great stick. I hope you enjoy it. And by the way, so easily moddable, which is excellent. Maxed out Max, why would I buy turtle stuff? You do realize that the turtle stuff you buy in the game only applies to your avatar, right? You can't use it on your Street Fighter. So when I'm playing ranked, you would never see that on MI Street Fighter. It's a complete waste of time. Samuel Oliver says, I'll pay you $200 to attempt Soul Calibur. Well, if there's a new one, I'm going to probably try it anyway. I played the last Soul Calibur that came out. Only for a little bit, though. It was very laggy. I remember, particularly when it came out, the online play sucked. And I was like, dude, it's a brand new fighting game, and the online play was atrocious. Like, really laggy. The Shin Black says, hope you're doing well. I've been catching up on your Street Fighter 6 vids. Glad to hear it. Glad you're enjoying them. Abdullah says it's $100 for all the Ninja Turtle skins. $100. Derek says, this is another new shirt? Yes, this is my other new shirt for the week. I had 2 new shirts for this week. In reality, I have 3. And one of them, just listen to this. Went to the same store, bought all larges. The new shirt yesterday fit nicely. This shirt fits beautifully. One of the large, go to put it on, it won't even fit around my shoulders. I couldn't even, like, get it to button. But it says it's a large. And I'm staring at it, I'm like, what? Like, why is this shirt so small? I think they mistagged it. I think it's actually a small or a medium. But they mistagged it to say it was a large, and it wasn't, because I couldn't even fit it. It was nice. It was white, but it had flamingos, and the flamingos were red, white, and blue color, so they were patriotic American flamingos. It was a really nice shirt, but it doesn't fit at all. Can't even get it around me to put it on. I'm like, well, that's really stupid. How are they all larges? And I've always said this about clothing and fashion. There is no consistency whatsoever in clothing and fashion. You'll get a shoe that claims it's a size, and you'll pay 3 different shoes that all say they're the same size, and they're all completely different sizes. This happened to me, like, I have giant feet, okay? In my lifetime, I've worn size 11.5, size 12, size 12.5, and size 13 shoes. How? Are my shoes growing, and are my feet growing and shrinking? No. It's just that these companies don't know what the hell they're doing, okay? So, same thing here. All these shirts claim a large, but one of them is insanely small, and the other one, some of them are loose. It's weird. It's very weird. Anyway, it is what it is. So I have 3 new shirts. One of them I can't wear, but this is the other new shirt for this week. I hope you like it. It's like a nice floral pattern. Very tropical, right? Like tropical flowers or something. It's nice. I like it. Did I watch Hello Kitty? I wasn't even aware that Hello Kitty could be watched. I thought that it was like a Japanese, like, branding. I didn't even know that there was a TV show of it. So, no. Have I considered going back to the Sly Raccoon series? Maybe. We could always go back. I own the HD collection. If you ever wanted to see me go back to them, we could replay them. My brain says, I got a joke. I'll pay you $200 to grab any food item from your fridge and eat it on camera. What do you think I have in my fridge? What, seriously? What food items do you think I have in my fridge? That, you know, well, I'll just grab some carrots. Eat some carrots. I have carrots in the fridge. I have some kale. Some fresh things that we use for ingredients for different recipes and things. I have some of that. Toss it in. Yummy. What a hilarious joke that was. Jade is watching my first run in Judgment, the first game. Cool. Great game. Judgment 1 is super fun. And that was a summertime playthrough where we did it very slowly and did all the side content. It was a really fun game. Exactly. Sith Alchemist is the same thing with pants. Every single pant size, it's different based on the brand. Yeah. Oh, I'm a 32 waist. This brand of jeans fits me perfectly. I wear this brand, it's too small, and this brand, it falls off my body. They're all fucking 32. 32 doesn't change. It's the same measurement. How could they all be different sizes? I don't get it. Derek says, what do you think about, or what did you like about the retrospective marathons you've done in the past? I like the fact, 2 things I like about them. Number 1, I like the fact that we can go down memory lane and we can laugh at the past. We can see how I used to be, how I used to do commentary, how I used to react to stuff, the old gameplay, the rage moments, right? And we can look at it and laugh and say, wow, it's a different time. That's what people were looking for then. Today I'm different. Let's all enjoy the past and, you know, have a good time reminiscing about it, because it's good to know that I'm not like that anymore. But in addition, what I also like about those retrospective marathons, they're relaxed, party-like atmospheres. There's no commitment to do any certain amount of stuff on a particular stream. I don't have to get this much done. I don't have to You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we have to cover 27 clips today. No, we don't. We do whatever as much as we want, right? So, because of that, it's very laid back. We can talk, we can interact, have fun conversations based around what we're watching, or just in general. It doesn't even have to be about what we're watching. And I like that. It's a more relaxed atmosphere. And I'm actually very much looking forward to that with this retrospective on the 26th, rather than it being, oh, serious business day. I have to rank up with a character in Street Fighter. We have to make good progress in this game today. No. We just relax together. We have a good time, right? That's the best part. Is there a game that I regret not beating? The only game that I feel in my entire life has bested me is Ninja Gaiden 1. That's one I never beat. I never legit beat it at all. And I tried really hard years ago. I tried and I got to the end, and the thing is, once you die, you have to replay the entire final stage from the start again to get back to the end, and I never beat it legit. Ninja Gaiden 1 has always kicked my ass, no matter what. So, yeah, that's about it. Any other games that I maybe quit is probably because I hated the game. I just had no desire to keep playing it. It's not because, oh, it's too hard. I just don't like it, right? There are games that I did rage quit and I went back years later, like Scarface or Persona 3. But for the most part, no. It's just Ninja Gaiden is the one that really whooped me, and I still haven't gone back to it yet. Do I like bananas? Yes, I do. Can we get a trial stream of Baldur's Gate 3? Absolutely not. Sly Raccoon Redemption Run. Why on earth would I need to do a redemption run? My original playthroughs of those games were great. In fact, those are some of my original platinum trophies ever on PlayStation. Because I liked the game so much that I went back and I full collected all the items in the games to get the platinums. I think I have 2 different Sly Cooper platinums. I think it's 1 and 2, if I remember correctly. So why would I need a redemption run? That's a weird suggestion. Hobo X says, Ninja Gaiden 1 would be fun, long-running challenge. You play it one night stream per week, learning it progressively until you beat it without save states. Yeah. I know, but as I said, you see what happens when I play retro stuff. I wanted to play Mario 3. Everyone said, nah, don't do that. Now I'm playing Chrono Trigger. Barely can get people on the stream, least supported stream. For some reason, people don't really support retro stuff. I don't know why, because I love retro stuff. I do. I love playing games from the classics from the past that I grew up with. As you can see when I play through like Chrono Trigger, hopefully you're seeing my passion come through with this game. That I truly love this game. I grew up playing it. It means something to me as a piece of formative work from my younger years. A game that led to so many great things in gaming afterward, right? That's why I love playing a game like that with you guys. And now I have an interactive audience to talk with you when I'm playing it, you know? But it doesn't catch on, man. Why don't I play retro stuff in my own time? Some people just don't get it. Some people just don't get it. All right, let me ask you a question. Here's a hypothetical. Here's a good hypothetical for you. Just everyone put yourself into this situation. Hypothetical. Let's imagine you're a car mechanic. Your job is to fix cars, okay? All day long, 6 days a week, you work at a car repair shop from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. with a break in between to eat dinner, okay? That's your life, 6 days a week, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. with a break to eat dinner, okay? When you're done with your job, would you go home and start working on a car in your garage? Is that what you would do at your free time? Would you go work on a car you have a day off? Oh, I'm building a classic car in my garage. But also, you work on cars all day long every day. Think about that. Most people would answer, no, I would not do that. I do that literally all day, every day. I need to separate myself from that to get some variety in my life. Because if you do too much of the same thing, now you get bored of it. Now it's like, dude, if all I do all day long is video games, on stream, off stream, every direction I look, there's video games, I'll be burned out and I won't want to play video games anymore. You understand? And for me, I like the fact that when I'm outside of this room, everything I do outside of this room is unrelated to what I'm doing in this room. You see? I go spend time with my family. We watch some TV and stuff that's unrelated to what I'm doing in here. Listen to some music, have some food, go out and do some fun stuff. And it has nothing to do with video games. And then when I'm back in this room, we're back to video games. And that's fine, because that creates the variety and the separation that I need. If your entire life is one thing, you have a lot of risk of burnout and problems. Seriously. And I don't want that to happen. One of the reasons why I have longevity as a content creator is because I'm a variety content creator. I don't just do the same thing every day. I do different games and different streams. It's not the same kind of content shoved down your throat constantly. That's a good thing. How many people out there do that? How many people since the launch of Street Fighter 6 have sat there and just played Street Fighter 6? Okay? If I did that, I'll be honest with you, I'd be burnt out. I would already hate Street Fighter 6 and be like, I don't want to play it anymore. Okay? So that's why I like that I'm a variety creator, but at the same time, there's got to be balance. It can't be my whole life has to be one thing. That's ridiculous. I could never live that way. You know what? It's like I've been telling you guys about the pro Street Fighter players who are winning EVO and winning these tournaments. That's what their lives are, man. Their life is traveling, playing Street Fighter. That's fine. But I don't want to live that lifestyle. I've got a family. I got variety. I can't do that constantly. I want to have separation. You know, for me, if everything was video games, I would never even have like a mental state shift. You know what I mean? Like when I'm in here and I'm with you guys playing games, that's one mental state. When I'm outside of here, it's like, oh, a switch has changed and now we're on to something different, right? That's what I mean. Like I can't. I would never want to say, okay, I'm done with my stream. Time to go play more video games to relax. Huh? No. No. Please, no. Okay. So anyway, that's just my take on it. You could completely disagree. If your whole life is one thing, go for it. I like variety, man. All right, so guys, I talked about this earlier. If you support my content, if you could today, perhaps become a member or give some memberships to the channel. My goal was to have 500 members by the end of this podcast. We got about half an hour left, unless I get interrupted, which I could be interrupted at any moment. I don't know. All right? So please consider it. We're right there. Please consider supporting. Okay. Jade says, how's Jasper? He's good. Jasper is a good kitty today. Was watching out back. Every morning we put out a bowl of nuts on in our backyard, and all the local wildlife come by. Multiple kinds of birds, squirrels. They come by and they eat the nuts, and it's very cute. We've got little birds, which I don't even know what they are. Berry finches, mid-sized birds, big birds like they're called northern flickers, as well as Stellar's jays and other things that come by. We've got these families of squirrels. We recognize them all. There's like 5 or 6 different squirrels that all come by, and they all have different tails, and they look different. So they're pretty cool. And they all come by and they eat the nuts for breakfast in the morning when we put them out there. And then Jasper gets so excited. He just sits there watching. He's like, oh, watching them eat the nut. He's like, oh, yes. He jumps and pounces on the window sometimes. He's very silly in that regard. So, yeah, it's fun. The morning's always fun. And then usually we have our breakfast bagel or whatever, or whatever we're having for breakfast. Usually it's for me, it's a bagel and a coffee. And, enjoy relaxing while we watch Jasper enjoy the wildlife out back. So, okay. Oh, yeah, Kagome says he pre-ordered the Spider-Man controller for Spider-Man 2. It looked pretty good to me. It looked like a good design on the controller. And it's just a standard PS5 controller, right? So, if you need another controller, why not go for the Spider-Man one? Beastbot, I'm not playing DK64 ever again. Doesn't matter how much you say, what you say. He's like, what if we raise money for you to play DK64 again? I don't think there's enough money. I don't think so. I don't think there's enough money on Earth to make me play DK64 again. I'm pretty sure. Mr. Puzzle says, is the Street Fighter collection worth picking up for $10? Which one? There's the 30th anniversary collection. There's the Capcom Fighting collection. There's multiple collections out right now. It depends. Like, Capcom Fighting collection is legitimately good as long as you're playing offline. There is no online play. No one plays it online. It's dead. But it's a really good collection for offline play. In fact, it's much better than the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, which is good for online play as long as you're okay with laggy shit. If you don't care about lag, it's fine. If you care about lag, then don't buy it. It's a piece of shit. It's super laggy and very annoying. Greetings, American MAGA Undertaker. No, I've said I'm not playing Baldur's Gate 3. Here's the thing. Baldur's Gate 3 appears to be a grand game. People who are playing it are absolutely loving this game. They're saying it's super immersive. So many decisions in the game actually determine how things turn out differently. So it really is the kind of game your choices matter, which is excellent. So many games today, they act like you have a choice and there's really doesn't change anything. And it's the opposite in this game. There's great writing. There's great characters. Everyone's saying it's great. But there's two problems. Problem number one, the main story is 100 hours long. As you know, I'm a variety streamer. The format of this stream is that I play 3-hour streams on day, 2-hour streams at night. Even if Baldur's Gate 3 was a main game of mine, it would probably take me 2 to 3 months to finish if it were a regular rotation game. We're just about to hit the busy gaming season when we've got insane amounts of high-profile releases that people have been waiting for me to play for ages. All right? There is no way that a 100-hour basic requirement game could fit into my schedule as of right now. It wouldn't happen. And I've tried playing these games at length and balancing them. They don't work. Everyone complains you're playing too slow. You're not making enough progress. You're not remembering how to play the game when you go back to it. It's a waste of time. So just based on that premise, it's kind of a no. But then on top of that, there's the style of game it is. It is a strategic RPG where you're planning out moves. It's a slower paced combat game. That also doesn't really work for my streams. Look at playthroughs like Divinity Original Sin 2 or Mario plus Rabbids from years ago. Any game where there's like a strategy based and you're trying to plot stuff out, people can't stand it. It's boring. It's like watching paint dry. I don't know why you're playing this game. So it's a grand game. People who enjoy that style of game seem to be loving it. It just doesn't fit the format of the content I do. If I was someone who, when I picked a game, I sat down and played it nonstop for 2 months till I beat it, this would be probably game of the year. But that's not me. As you know, I'm the variety guy. I've always been the variety guy. Even back in the day, remember XCOM 2012? I go to E3. XCOM's being rebooted for a modern audience. Oh my God. I go and buy it. I play it. We dropped it. In 2012, when I was at the height of my popularity, we dropped XCOM because people didn't want to see it. They were bored. So there you go. Beastbot says XCOM 2 wouldn't be a bad idea, not as tedious as the first game. No one's going to want to see me play XCOM 2 years later. When there's all these other games coming out, why would they want to see me play XCOM 2 now? If you remember, XCOM 2 was a weird situation. XCOM 1 was cross-platform fully, PC and all consoles. So I played it at launch and everything, and we dropped it because people got bored. XCOM 2 is coming out, PC only. Then when it sold well on PC, then they financed the console ports. But it was a year later. By the time it came out on console, no one cared, and it sold poorly on console. What a shocker. So I didn't care about it and never played it, and no one ever asked for it. I'm sure playing it 7 years later, however much later it is now, no one's going to give a shit. If I played XCOM 2 today, people would be like, why are you not playing Baldur's Gate 3? Resident Evil 0 remake run? Yeah, I played Resident Evil 0 HD years ago. I remember playing both 0 and Code Veronica, and they were quirky, fun playthroughs during the summer. And that was a long, long time ago. I would be down to play those again eventually. Now obviously, we don't have time, but certainly, especially during summertime down months when there's not a lot going on, those could be good playthroughs. Excuse me. Do I think the newer Resident Evil games ripped off Revelations 2? No. Not at all. Next question. I don't even know what else to say. No, I don't think they're ripping off at all. What exactly did they rip off? That is third person? Without fixed camera angles? Over the shoulder? Is that a ripoff just because they changed it? Like... I mean, I think that's what they were going for. With Revelations 1 and 2, they wanted to turn the old fixed camera angle Resident Evil into a third-person behind-the-shoulder style, right? But they had already done that with, like, 5 and 6. Only 5 and 6 became so much more action-based that people were upset. So Revelations 1 and 2 attempted to have action plus some puzzles and stuff. Parasolo's ready for Street Fighter today. Me too. Me too. I wish that this interruption would happen, but as of now, it hasn't happened yet. So, you know, we'll give it a few more minutes. Typically, I end my podcast between 12:30, 12:40. And likely what we'll do, we'll wait a few extra minutes. If the interruption doesn't happen, we'll probably jump in and do a little bit of Street Fighter then. I don't want to wait forever, you know, but it is what it is. Beastbot says, I'm looking forward to see if you set up Fightcade to do Third Strike. Yeah, so a couple people sent me instructions. Apparently there's a way there's this thing you can do with Fightcade now. That there's an add-on. And the add-on essentially allows you to have like a browser that you can pick games you're interested in. And it'll just go and download the games from the internet automatically. Like you don't have to go search the internet for the ROMs. It'll find them for you. Which is an interesting premise. I don't know exactly how well it works. I don't know much about it. But eventually I'll get to it. Obviously not now. Obviously now I'm already juggling Street Fighter 6 with other games I'm playing. We're about to hit the busiest gaming season of the year. That's for time like maybe early next year or mid next year when things are slow and we're looking for content. Then I'll have the option. That's the cool thing about having this mini PC. It's going to give me options to do things that I never was able to do before. And that'd be pretty neat to see me maybe get back into a more competitive level of Street Fighter with older games with better connections and stuff. Because, man, playing games like Third Strike and Super Turbo in these collections on PC or on console, oh, they've been so bad. You guys have no concept. The lag is fucking ridiculous, man. Like, how am I supposed to fucking play this shit? Parasolo, no, I don't know why Tekken 8 doesn't have a release date yet. Don't know what to tell you. Swaganito says Fightcade would be a fun experiment with the mini PC or emulated games. Exactly. You know, the focus would definitely be Fightcade. I'm sure there's other emulation you could run on there as well. But for me, the games that I've never had a good version of are the classic Street Fighters. Really, honestly, it's always the classic Street Fighters. They get the short end of the stick. Here's a new collection. Oh, by the way, the game runs at the wrong speed, the lobby system doesn't work, and the online play is full of lag. Oh, thanks for the collection, assholes. Totally not a fucking cheap cash-in or anything, right? Hamburger Time says, am I going to check out the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game? I've heard it's Game Pass, so maybe I'll give it a shot, 1 or 2 streams, but I'm not feeling it. It isn't one of these asymmetric horror survival games, which there's a million of. I don't really like them that much. If I'm going to play one, I'll play Dead by Daylight. So I don't see the reason to be playing the next fucking knockoff. No, I do not watch anime in my free time. Okay? I received a $2.43 tip. Someone is anonymous tipper says, do you think you may have lost some of your variety audience since you're playing so much Street Fighter 6? Well, here's the thing. Yes and no. Allow me to explain. Okay? First of all, Street Fighter 6 in itself is variety. Because you understand something. I know I wasn't playing competitive fighting games. I would dabble in a new fighting game for, you know, a week or two to go through the story or the offline modes. I would play some of the online play, and typically I would play maybe once a week, right, if that. And after a couple of months, I would usually just phase it out and never play it again, right? So in itself, adding Street Fighter 6 as a regular game to my rotation has been variety, okay? But typically, if there was no Street Fighter 6 this year, what else would I have done this summer? Likely I would have maybe done some horror game. Maybe I would have played Resident Evil Zero or Resident Evil Code Veronica HD, correct? I probably would have thrown one of those in. You know, maybe I would have done some other games off of like Game Pass or something like that, right? You know, definitely there would have been a different amount of variety for sure. Now, the thing is, I'm playing a ton of Street Fighter 6 because it's the summer and it's the game to play during the summer, and now's the time to play and get good at it, right? Mortal Kombat 1 is coming out. Next weekend we're playing the beta of that couple days. The real game comes out mid-September. That's gonna end up being a bigger priority. I'll still play Street Fighter 6 maybe once or twice a week, but it's not gonna be the major focus it is right now. It's gonna shift. Once all those giant games start coming out in the fall, definitely the amount of fighting game content will decrease. Okay? So it's really because just what's out now. You know, it's the hot thing now, but it won't be forever. It will change, it will shift. And by the way, every fall you get people coming back. Every fall when I start playing all the hot new releases, a big part of the audience that actually leaves for the summertime comes back. Happens every year without fail. A lot of people just don't like the fact that I'm not playing constant new games. There's no new games. I'll come back when Phil plays new games. The last major, giant, high profile, new release that really brought butts to seats was Resident Evil 4 Remake. That was what, March, April? That was a playthrough. Every stream had tons of viewers. Every on-demand video had ridiculous viewers. That's the last one. Since then, everything's been meh. People don't really come to watch me play Zelda. People certainly didn't come to watch me play Diablo. Final Fantasy 16 was a dud. So, you get dud after dud after dud. The big games of the year are all coming out in the fall. So I predict come the fall and I cut back on fighting game content, you will see a lot more variety viewers come back to watch me play the new releases. So, okay. Okay, anything else, guys? So far, I got nothing. So, very well, unless we want to continue, I may use the restroom quick. Here's what I know what's going to happen. You ready? Here's exactly what's going to happen. So, I'm going to say, okay, let's stop waiting, because the interruption isn't happening yet. Let's start playing Street Fighter. And the moment I fucking boot it and I play my first match, the interruption's going to happen. I just know it. I know it. That's why I was hoping to stretch out the podcast, do a normal podcast, and hopefully by the end of the podcast today, would be what we were going to do. And now here we are, and it's like, ugh. Anyway. Monkey Spank, number one, no. I did not get any email with a video from you. Number two, what video? What video did you send me? Why would you have sent me a video? Now I'm very confused. Ugh. You made an intro for DSPN. Maybe you had the wrong email. Or it could be if you sent me an email with a big attachment, it probably I'm not going to get it. Keep in mind that my email gets bombarded with a ridiculous amount of emails every day. My spam filters are like ultra sensitive. So if I get anything more than like a picture or two, it probably caught spam filters. So I would say, if you did make something, you have to put it somewhere for me to watch it somewhere. You can't send me a video. I'll never get it. Did I enjoy the Order 1886? I enjoyed the graphics. That was about it. The story sucked. The gameplay sucked. It was a complete bait and switch. It wasn't about killing monsters. It was about killing generic enemies. But the graphics were good. That was it. It was literally a complete rip-off game, in my opinion. It was a graphical showcase for at the time what the PS4 could do, and that's literally the entirety of what it was. There was no other point to the game. No, I'm not playing MK11 before the MK1 beta. That'd be pretty worthless. It's less than a week away. Right? Okay. Well, guys, I don't know what else to say. I don't feel like sitting here all day waiting. So I think what we will do, okay, is adjourn the podcast. Let's end it. It's good that the podcast got a full length. So now everyone watching this on demand, I hope you enjoyed. We got to do a full length podcast, which is nice. There was no interruption, right? So let's end the show, and probably I'll use the restroom quick. We'll come back. We'll set up and see if during the time I'm setting up, if we get interrupted, and if not, well, I guess we'll jump into some gameplay as far as I can go until it happens, you know. So, all right? So thank you all. Hopefully, this time tomorrow, on this very show, I'll be telling you about my absolutely amazing placement matches and my amazing run with Honda today in Street Fighter 6. I mean, nothing happier if that's what I was doing tomorrow. I don't know if that's what it'll be or not. Certainly, I hope I do end up doing better than I did with Blanca, because I don't want to be meandering through low-level platinum matches. But I guess that's life sometimes, right? Sometimes shit happens, right? As I've had to deal with. But I guess we'll see exactly what happens today and go from there. Thank you all for watching the show, and I'll see you later.